great. It's great to have you back. Third time at the Super Megafest. It's always a treat to have you. But, thank you. But I got to say, just a little warning. Last time you were here, you demonstrated a stunt from G.I. Joe when that kind of went awry. You were doing some kick, and this guy was in the wrong. He was in the wrong place, and he was a little too close. And you just, as you're flying toward him with your foot, you said, "Sorry, man." You just got him full face, and you had me, stand in for him. And I was recovering from a herniated disc. Remember that?
Yeah.
So from working out, and then now we're here, 2013. And I'm in physical therapy for an injured bicep. So if you're doing any more stunts and you want me as a stand-in, just let me know. Take it easy.
You want to do it now?
We can wait a little bit.
Wait, did you hurt your bicep because you did that stunt last time? Or
Yeah,
is it my fault then?
Yeah, so. This is on tape, you got that, right? No, of course not. No, actually, the last time, here I'm talking about, I was getting the baby carriage off of the wall in the garage. And my back went out, and I was so annoyed I didn't get to work out. I tried to work out.
It was.
Oh yeah, it felt like a knife in my thigh.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about you.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, I've not been hurt doing any sort of big action stunts. Keep up.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't been hurt really, but you hurt yourself doing the most silliest things, like getting up off the chair. Like jumped over cars and buildings and did all these superhero type things. But then you get up and you pick your kids up and you hurt your back.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
The training that you do, you don't hurt yourself. So it is. You were talking about it last time, wasn't it? You hurt yourself.
That's right. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was my back and then my biceps. So it's
Sign of old age.
how much? Yeah, that plus I don't know. It might be every time you come to the show. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. All right.
I hope you get better.
Thanks. So, but yeah, again, thanks for coming. It's awesome to have you.
Nice to be back here.
Yeah, great. And let's say I know we're gonna have a lot of questions, but I just wanted to bring up a few things. One thing. Well, first, what are you working on right now? Do you have anything? Are you working on something or something coming up?
Not right now.
No.
I have a few things that sort of in the works for next year.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things coming out next year, like Gin. That comes out in April. I filmed that a few years ago. It's a supernatural thriller about Gin. If anyone, I don't know if anyone knows about Gin. It's like a Middle Eastern genies.
Yes.
It's a good gins and bad gins, like the boogeyman.
Yeah, we got one around the corner in another room.
I thought you were pointing to
No, sorry, no. A genie in the other room.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, so but no, that's interesting. So it's Middle Eastern mythology and folklore. So it's do you play? What do you play in that?
I can't tell you.
Oh, is it?
Secret.
Sorry. Okay.
You're supposed to find out throughout the movie.
Supernatural. That's cool. Is it a period piece? Does it take place back then, or is it contemporary?
Yeah.
Oh, so that sounds neat. Yeah.
And I did a bit of promotion for it a little while ago, but they built this unique car called a fire breather.
Oh.
And so I went to Detroit for the show and was hoping to snag the car for myself. Like a contract, but it's mine. But no, the producers kept it.
That sounds cool.
It was a lot of fun. A good cast, and I got to work with William Apathy.
Oh yeah.
He's in Ghostbusters.
Right.
Awesome. I learned a lot about
Yeah,
acting.
he's older.
Yeah. So we had scenes together and some really good scenes actually that I really enjoyed and I learned a lot from him.
Good.
I sort of picked his brains about the craft. So he's a great guy.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, because you've done so much great, your martial art expertise, your experience, competing in tournaments, which then, I think, led into stunt work, which led into, acting work. A couple of things. I was always hoping that I remember talk years ago about Iron Fist, and now I understand. I think Netflix is in conjunction with Marvel to do some maybe 13-week series. Like there's a Daredevil series in the work. I think Iron Fist is another character they're going to do. So that never materialized.
Yeah, I just heard that yesterday.
That's too bad, huh?
Yeah, just wanted that. It was just timing as well.
Was it? Yeah.
Those things that was going to happen and then it just didn't happen.
But it wasn't just like a fan rumor. There was actual real talk, and you were
we had
hearing up
meetings
from
and stuff.
really. Yeah, that's too bad.
And then the world changed a little bit. Things,
Oh.
changed.
Sure. Yeah.
But if they do it, I'll still go and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And, I'm just very lucky and very blessed to be doing the things that I'm doing. I'm getting to relive my childhood. And I grew up with G.I. Joe and Star Wars was the first big movie in color that I saw on the big screen.
Really?
We took, it's the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, you know?
Yes, yes.
And I was told last night, it reminded me, and I was like, oh yeah, because I remember the black and white Doctor Who's. To be honest, I only got to see those on a Saturday morning at the cinema.
Yep.
You know, so they used to show them in a big screen.
Yeah.
We didn't have a TV, not like it is today, you know, have cable and
Right,
like
right.
maybe 2 channels, you know. And so my cousins and uncles used to take me to see that. So when I moved to London, Star Wars was the first movie, and Superman was the second. It was back then in the day that when they had a sequel, they showed you the first movie first at the movie, and they showed you the new one. And I remember sitting there and I was just captivated, and that sort of changed my world. And that's really reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today.
2 great movies to see like that, though, in color on a big screen.
Yeah, it just, like, just blew me away. You know?
Yeah.
Like, just as a kid, I was like, I want a lightsaber. My dad's an electrical engineer, and I thought, you know, he pretty much could make anything. But I remember my dad saying, like, Dad, I want a lightsaber. I want a lightsaber. And he's like, son, I try my best, but it's something I can't. That's something magical. You know?
Yeah.
And now look, we have great like this, you know, the toys we have today.
Oh, the toys are great.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I know, a lot different than my first one. I think I had to blow up.
Yeah.
It was an inflatable Kenner lightsaber.
Yeah. Or it's the ones you see at the airport, isn't it? Like
Oh, those, yeah.
the bulb on it.
Yeah, well, this was like an official one, but yeah, it's, you know, nowadays they look real.
Yeah, they're
They're
great.
cool, yeah. Here's the thing, some of you might have recalled this from before, but I just think it's a neat story. And you have to verify it again, what part, you know, to what extent it's true. It's about when playing the iconic villain from Phantom Menace, you know, Darth Maul. Just, you know, whenever you think of that movie, that's the image, you know, that comes up. But, you know, the makeup process was pretty involved to get that down. But I remember you said, you know, you were just at a point where, I think, was it you who said this or someone else said it? Having to do this every day, it's like, why don't you just get your face tattooed with it, with that design?
I think George said that.
And
George
was-
actually said that to me as a joke.
in jest, but then some people actually half consider it, or was that
I
just
don't know, maybe there's some people out there.
Some people think-
Tyson did it, didn't he? He had the
Oh, that's right.
warrior tattoo on his face. I think that's
So is George Lucas who actually said
he just joked
just
about
joking?
it, yeah, 'cause we were
Okay.
doing makeup tests in the beginning when I landed the part, and we were seeing how the makeup looked on camera, and we were testing out different contact lenses and different colours, different shades. And he just joked about it because I just got my ears pierced here, and it was a big deal for me, you know, to have it done.
Yeah.
And before I found out I was going to be Darth Maul, and so I had it done, and I didn't want to take it out. So it was the first makeup test. And I remember saying to George, because I didn't want to take it out, so the makeup artist covered it up, the black, so he wouldn't see it. So he was really helping me out. And George was just staring at me, looking, you know, looking at the makeup, watching me talk. And then I thought he was looking at the earring. Oh no, I'm going to get fired. Do you want us to take it out right now? So I asked him, I said, George, I'm sorry if you don't mind, but if you want me to take it out, I will, but can I leave it in just for this week so it can stay open? Because it's a big deal. And he went, I think your character can have an earring there. Why don't you leave it? Keep it. And that's why Darth Maul had an earring up there, because I just had my ears pierced.
That's neat.
And it was because of George, he was so open-minded.
That's great. That's funny, yeah.
That's how Darth, you know, I always laugh when I see pictures because it was actually part of me there, you know, wearing an earring.
Yeah.
And because George allowed it.
That's neat, yeah. That's cool. But one other thing I was going to say before we turn to the audience, a lot of people I think feel that your portrayal of Toad in X-Men, that was pretty neat. And although there's that infamous scene where Halle Berry says that line to you about, you know, what happens when a Toad gets hit by lightning. But a lot of people I think you were in X-Men 3. And for a long time I thought it as well, but they said I didn't see you credited. But there's a character that shows up briefly.
Yeah,
Looks just like Toad, but that wasn't Toad.
It's
I guess.
animated, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell, but was that supposed to be? Do you know? Was that supposed to be the character? Was it another?
They were considering bringing me back to the second X-Men movie for Toad to fight Nightcrawler.
Right.
You know, we were going to have this big battle, but it just didn't work out.
Okay, but is it the third where there's that appearance of a?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? When Magneto meets all the mutants, and there's like it looks like Toad crawling down the wall. Am I right? Yeah. Is that so? Is that, do people think that's supposed to be Toad, or is that another character entirely? I never knew the.
When any Wolverine movie, isn't that female? She's some kind of lizard or toad sort of thing.
Oh, like a snake. Yeah, she's like reptilian. Yeah.
I haven't watched the whole movie yet.
Yeah. So I'm surprised. Because I'm surprised they didn't bring you back for any of the X-Men movies, because there've been several now.
Maybe one day.
I hope so. Yeah, because that was good.
I wouldn't mind being green again.
Yeah. All right. All right. So I don't want to monopolize this. So let's take some questions from the audience.
What part of England is that accent from?
I was raised in London, but I was born in Glasgow, Scotland. and then moved to London when I was 7. So it's a little bit mixed up, jumble jumble.
Right, yeah. Let's see, other questions?
Thanks for asking.
Oh, yes, over there.
With Darth Maul's reappearance in the Clone Wars series, were you consulted at all for whatever new fighting styles you might have, or were you reached at all by Lucasfilms
Yep.
or LucasArts just to see what else we can do with this character that you pretty much made your own?
Well, you know, I always used to bump into Dave Filoni, and I have a good relationship with Lucasfilm. You know, that they're the reason, really, how I got my first break. And so they're always keeping me involved in what's going on with Star Wars, and especially with Clone Wars. But they asked me to come up and just you know, be involved, just hang out with the animators and stuff, and just talk about, see what they have in mind for the new season. I wasn't able to do it because I was on G.I. Joe Retaliation. So they've always been great, you know, like I keep myself down and not trying to make more of an effort, but I was on the other side of the country, so I couldn't get back in time.
Do you think they did your Maul justice at least?
I think it's great, you know, because I like Sam, and I think he has a great voice, a good actor, and he got to sort of get more into, he got to show Darth Maul, and more so than, you know, like the fans wanted to see. You know, he wanted to see more in the movie, and he didn't get to see it, so he got to sort of tap into that, which was really
The
cool.
person, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, and I knew it was going to happen anyway. You know, just because you guys, the fans, and all the different energies and stories out there, it was about time. You know, especially with the robot legs. And, you know, so I've been practicing my robot a little bit. You know, I'm hoping that I can do my robot cop if they ask me back. You know, so I would do Darth Maul. You know, again, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do the whole tattoo effect as well. Shirtless. It'd be a good challenge for me.
Yeah, it's such a striking image, you know, the whole tattooing,
Yeah.
the coloring.
Yeah.
It's what I think stands out. Yeah. How was your experience with the most recent G.I. Joe film compared to the second? I mean, coming back to play the same character, you know, you knew it, but I mean, I know you added some stuff to it as far as his moves, and I know the background of the character is something that you've mentioned. You know, you like to have a developed character, but he's always mysterious. But so anyway, but how was what were your thoughts on the most recent G.I. Joe?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great to work on both. You know, I got to work with John Chu, who's awesome, you know, and he really knows G.I. Joe, and I got to work with Steven Summers on the first one, you know, and he's awesome as well.
Yeah.
The producers are the same, so it's like a family again. And it's the only movie that I got to reprise my role.
Yeah.
You know, so I grew up with G.I. Joe and, you know, Snake Eyes, and actually Storm Shadow was my favorite as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was the ninja that looked different with 2 swords. And of course I love Snake Eyes, but you got to see Storm Shadow's face. And just had something about it. And for me, Snake Eyes is I just fall into it again. You know, I go back in. As soon as I have the suit, I let the suit. You know, if I have different challenges, I let that work for me as Snake. You know,
Yes.
It's like if you put on a nice jacket. I don't know if you guys put on a good coat, you feel good, don't you? There's something magical about it. Like, feel good. Like, if I've got a suit on, a tie, yeah, I'm ready for work. It's the same thing like putting on like the Snake Eyes suit for me. You're getting in it, and it's like, but once you're in it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm Snake Eyes now. I'm not Ray anymore. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and speaking of Jeremy yesterday, you know, with like we mentioned the tour up behind the mask. I forgot the name of the tour, but you know, we talked briefly about how you know, just putting on a costume, especially when you put on a helmet, how, you know, it can transform your whole persona, and how, you know, some actors, and I mentioned how with current films, you know, like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, or like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. You know, a lot of the time in their costume, their face is covered with the helmet or the mask, but due to, I don't know, I think there's some clause in some Hollywood clause, or I don't know what it is, but the actor's face needs to be shown for a certain amount of time in a movie. It can't be covered up the whole time. I don't know if that's, you know, urban myth or what, but anyway, you know, you put on a helmet or a mask, you know, suddenly you're less inhibited. You know what I mean? You feel more free to do stuff, and
yeah, you've got
with makeup, you know,
you've got tools.
tools.
You have tools.
Yes,
you
yes.
have things, you have props. Even if it's a mask or a helmet, it's a prop. And I don't know if you're a biker, like in England, I don't know how it is. Like I used to have like a race bike, but when you know, bikers have this certain thing they nod to each other like that in a helmet. You know, they do that. And so I sort of played that a little bit in Snake Eyes. You're wearing a helmet, so a lot of the, you know, you can move your shoulder and be like this and look. And so you think it, and you try and get those thoughts out through the costume in your body.
Yeah.
You know, and I was always, I love the fact that Jackie Chan uses his body to tell a story as well as do the action, but he used it. Charlie Chaplin, you know, and so it's as a kid, you'll play, as a kid, you like play different characters, and I think Chinese martial arts really helped me because we do a lot of different animal styles like snake and praying mantis and eagle, and so you sort of adapt the style of the animal, but still keeping it human and very martial arts, and I think that's helped me in all my characters I've played.
Yeah.
You know, because you're holding and moving and looking.
Sure.
And there's a little bit of Darth Maul Snake Eyes as well.
Yeah.
That
And a little bit in Toad with that great little thing they added.
yeah.
I mean, just that one fun scene. Now, I remember as a child you got into martial arts, but what was it that sparked the interest initially? Was it just seeing someone, I forgot, well, who was your original, your initial?
My dad was really into Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So he was young when I was introduced to the world.
Yeah.
And so he was still a big kid. And so me being the oldest and I didn't have any brothers and sisters for about 5 or 6 years, I was basically taken everywhere, watching martial art movies, horror movies, and my dad used to have fun scaring me. So it's because of Bruce Lee, but my dad,
Yes,
my parents.
his interest,
Yeah, and then I just used to copy, I used to hear stuff, my dad used to tell me, go and watch Bruce Lee, and then he'd think he was he was Bruce Lee, and him and his friends would run home at 16, jumping over stuff and going, whoa, So I thought that was cool, and then some movies did that for me, and that's why I said Star Wars changed my life.
Yeah.
So I was already pretending to be guys in films, and it was after watching Star Wars when I was 7, 8, that's when I started doing martial arts.
7 or 8.
Yeah. And around about that time, my dad was letting me watch Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies, mainly Bruce Lee, ninja movies, Chuck Norris movies.
Yeah. Did you get him on video back then? As a kid?
Video,
you were able to. Yeah, because so that was convenient. Yeah, it was good timing because that was when everything was coming out. Yes.
Anything with a ninja on it, I got.
Yeah. Sure.
I even I was disappointed about, there was a movie called They Call Me Bruce. I don't know if you see it. Bruce Lee. With this finger, I could poke your eye out. With this hand, I could break your face. With this foot, And I was like, really thought it's another Bruce Lee story. And I was like, oh yeah, Bruce Lee, it's another movie? I remember getting home and I was so disappointed. But as an adult now, I really appreciate it. It's funny. Because there's that whole myth when you're younger, it's like you've got to give 3 warnings if someone's going to attack you. You go, hold on a minute, I'm a black belt, I'm giving you a warning. And it's I'm giving you a second warning, There's that, because that whole, it wasn't really, not a lot of people did martial arts, but we were told to say that at school. And I think my instructors said it just as a safety thing, So that's what They Call Me Bruce was funny for me, because he would do the same thing, because people thought he was Bruce Lee.
Right.
So he got away with the image of looking like Bruce Lee.
It's funny. So apart from, you mentioned when I asked you about current work, you said Jin will be coming out, but anything else you can talk about?
I did a movie with Kevin Sorbo a year or so ago, and that's called Avars. And it was just a cameo role for me, but it's actually one of the best acting days of my life. Because, I didn't have set dialogue to do, and they made the part bigger because I said, yeah, I'll come in and do a day, and they just wanted me to say a line, and then I said, yeah, I've got nothing to do, and one of the camera guys got me on the listing. And I was like, why do they want me to just play this little part, like say a line? There must be more to it. And I did. I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to do. Meet some new people, make contact, I'll do it, And then they made the part much bigger. I got on set. No, we want to do this. And the director was really young, and did a lot of great music videos. And I just fell into place again, because I really liked the director. Had a good way about him, and he was able to, communicate in a sort of way that I understood. And he said, look, this is the sort of scene. As long as you hear this line with that, but just go with it, right? And for a director to say, just go with it like that, gave me a lot of confidence, and I was able just to make stuff up. I was making mistakes and spilling stuff. I had to pretend to go in the back of the car, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be this like gangster drug dealer, but I got this real cheap 80s suit on. My hair, I just had shaved my hair to a mohawk, so I slid it down to here, eye makeup on like this, and I'm just like walking around like the jitters, trying to like do stuff, and it was great.
It's a different kind of role for you.
Yeah, it was very different. It was something that I wouldn't have chased after, but it was able just to let loose, and then Kevin got to beat the hell out of me.
Oh, dear.
You know, he was like, put up, you know, and he's there, peeing on the sidewalk, he's got a cowboy hat. I'm like, hey, cowboy, hey, yee! You know what I mean? Rubbish American accent on purpose. Yo, yee! And he's not, you know, so then I start like taunting him and making all this up. And I'm like, oh no, Kevin Sorbo, what's he gonna think of me? And he has a shotgun and he just like beats me up, you know, drags me on the ground and everything. And we just went with it. And he fist pumped me. He was like, oh, awesome, right? And I was like, man, it's just a great day. I've got to work with Kevin. And I've seen him ever since, and like, had fun memories of that day. In the middle of the desert, you know?
Yeah, that sounds fun, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, even so it started out as a cameo and it turned into something.
You get bigger.